Route 66, Route 66. We'll drive around the classic cars, pick up chicks and biker bars. It doesn't matter where we are, as long as we're on Route 66, Route 66.
All right, here you are on the 6th day of your 10-day Route 66 party tour. You have some beautiful roads to travel today between Tucumcari and Gallup, New Mexico. I'm Insane Sam, and I'm going to be your guide. As always, before we get going, let's be sure you have good directions so you don't get lost. Go to Route66MC.com. Go to the right-hand column on the home screen and find Get Directions. Put Tucumcari in the Leaving From box and Gallup in the Heading To box. Click Get Directions, and turn-by-turn directions between those two towns are going to pop up. Okay, let's hit the road. Montoya is the first town past Tucumcari. There's not much there except the abandoned 1925 Richardson store and Sinclair station, which operated there till the mid-1970s when the owner died. From Montoya, continue on to Newkirk. It has a lot of relics, but it also has a store where you can get gas, beer, and food. Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. I'd like to drink you with a little salt and lime. Did I kiss all the cowgirls? Did I shoot out the lights? Did I dance on the bar? Did I start a fight? Yep, the next stop is Cuervo, where you can't get any Cuervo. You can't even get a beer. There's several small businesses, including Cuervo Gas, where you can't get gas. Santa Rosa has a bunch of vintage motels and restaurants, some in good shape, but mostly they're in decline. The Club Cafe was opened in 1934 and was the big spot in Santa Rosa for years. It had a Fat Man logo that appeared on billboards all over Route 66 and later on I-40 for years. Unfortunately, it closed in 1992. The building's been torn down, but you can still see the original Fat Man sign at St. Joseph's Bar and Grill down the street, where the food is absolutely inedible. The Blue Hole is a pond of crystal clear water, 60 feet in diameter and 81 feet deep, that looks dark blue in the sunlight. The Blue Hole is popular for scuba diving, which is a rare thing in the New Mexico desert. On the way out of town is a small portion of pre-1937 Route 66 that follows 4th Street and Riverside Drive. This short detour winds through a neighborhood that's seen better days, but when you get to the other side, you're going to be west of the Pecos. The Pecos Bar is kind of a rough spot on the west end of town, but I like it. When you leave Santa Rosa, you're going to be on I-40 till you reach Moriarty. On the way there, be sure to stop at Klein's Corners. They have every tacky souvenir imaginable. They also have a pretty good restaurant. When you get off of I-40 into Moriarty, you're going to glide past the Southwest Soaring Museum or soar past the Glider Museum. Both names are on the building. Moriarty claims to have the last Whiting Brothers gas station still in operation on Route 66. The Whiting Brothers chains of service stations were all over Route 66 at one time. It was founded in 1926 by Eddie, Art, Ralph, and Ernest Whiting in St. John's, Arizona. But then they found out that the newly designated Route 66 was going to go through Holbrook instead of St. John's, so they moved their operation to Holbrook. They expanded first to Winslow and Flagstaff and eventually had over 100 outlets, with over 40 of them on Route 66. The remnants of these service stations are all over Route 66. The original sign of this one in Moriarty recently was restored. They don't sell gas there anymore. They only repair tires, change oil, stuff like that. The El Comedor de Anaya's restaurant has the only neon Rotosphere left on Route 66. This is a spiked neon globe with its hemisphere spinning in opposite directions. It's very cool when it's lit up. Blackie's is a local bar in Moriarty that gets some traffic. It's the foulest mouth crowd I've ever heard. Even the women could make a sailor blush. Edgewood has an RV park with an old red-top diner that's a lot like the one at the Route 66 Museum in Clinton, Oklahoma. The next town is Zuzaks. You're going to be on Highway 33, but then take a detour down Cedillo Hill Road. This is a nice little ride that's going to take you only a few minutes out of your way, but you're going to go by a neat old church on the way. You wind back up on Highway 33, which is Central Avenue, right into downtown Albuquerque. I really recommend you take this detour. Who knows whether you're going to get a chance to be here again, and that little church is worth seeing. Tijeras has Molly's Bar. I've ridden by there as early as 9:30 in the morning and seen it open. Molly's doesn't have food, but there's a pizza place next door. I've stopped in a few times. It has a pretty nice local clientele. Carnwell has the Mountain Lodge sign with its Mexican on a burro, but it doesn't have the Mountain Lodge itself. The lodge burned down in 2014. As you approach downtown Albuquerque, you're going to go through the University of New Mexico campus. It looks exactly like an urban college campus should look. Okay, now you're going to be at the corner of 4th Street and Central Avenue in Albuquerque. This is the heart of Route 66 down there. There's a bunch of bars and restaurants. The first time I was there, I saw a place called the Brewery, and a few doors down, a place called the Distillery. Across the street was the Knockout Gentleman's Bar. I went to the Brewery for some cold craft beers, then I went to the Distillery and drank some Knob Creek bourbon, then I went to Knockouts where they had $5 lap dances. What a town. The brewery's been changed to a place called the Library. This has long been a biker favorite. It's a sports bar with cold beer and women bartenders and waitresses in skimpy little schoolgirl outfits. Be sure not to miss the 1926 Chemo Theater. Also, don't miss the Route 66 Diner and the Route 66 Association of New Mexico. The 1939 La Posada Hotel is where Conrad Hilton and Zsa Zsa Gabor got married. It's a block or so off Route 66, but you can go see it and stay there. It's pretty nice. You'll leave Albuquerque by continuing up Central Avenue. On your way, you're going to pass by the Dog House Drive-In, which has been serving hot dogs for over 60 years. This place was featured in the TV shows Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Plus, they have a really good hot dog in there. A few blocks up Central Avenue from the Dog House, you're going to come to Old Town Albuquerque. A block or so off of Central Avenue, you're going to find the Old Town Square, which is a really quaint spot with several antiques and crafts shops, several bistros, and an old church. In this neighborhood back on Central Avenue, a bunch of old Route 66 motels are being restored. The best of them is the El Vedo. This place had been closed for over a decade until the new owners put in over $10 million to restore it. This place is a pure joy. It's become a gathering place for local residents to come together with their families, and it gives the motel a vitality and a life that you don't see across Route 66 these days. I stay there every time I'm in Albuquerque. This is the end of the first leg of your ride from Tucumcari to Gallup. Before we head out of Albuquerque, I'd appreciate your clicking on the subscriber button. You'll get notifications of when I post new videos and other useful information you might otherwise miss. Also, leave comments. I'll do my best to respond to each of them. Insane Sam out.